Aloha, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. Shout out to our sponsors. First up, we have Defend Hawaii. They have a store in Windward Mall called No One. You can check them out. All their latest drops are over there. If not, go to defendhawaii.com. Check out what they have. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You'll receive 15% off whatever you order. Defendhawaii.com. Next, we have IREP Detail Supply. Anything you need to detail your car, waxes, polishes, soaps, vacuums. They have buffers, anything you need. Go to irepdetailsupply.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You will receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Also, go check out their showroom, their store at Temple Valley Shopping Center in Kahale. They have everything you need over there in the store itself. Last, we have Hawaii Candy Factory, and they've been selling noms everywhere. I just seen them at Hawaii Night Market. Go to Hawaii Candy Factory, check out what they have. A bunch of lihimui candies, gummies, strawberry belts, whatever you need. Check them out. Go use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Aloha. Okay, well, this week, my guest, he's one of the original members of Opihi Pickers. He played with Rebel Soldiers and currently plays with Kolohe Kai. He's the bass player, keeps the vibe moving, Kahale Morales.
What's up, brother? How you?
What's up, man?
Yeah, man. It's been a while. I've been seeing you in a long time, huh?
I know, bro. It's been a minute, but I do follow you and I see you on stages for multiple bands. But bro, like so you're the bass player. Like, if anybody doesn't know, the bass player keeps the vibe. And especially in reggae, right? And in island music.
It is. I mean, without the bass player, I mean, the bass is like pretty much the foundation of the music, right? The bass and drums, and without that, you have no groove, right? How do you groove to any music, especially with reggae music, island reggae music? It's typical bass lines, it's strict bass lines that makes your pretty much that saying they say is the bass that moves your waist, right? Without the bass, you can't move your waist. Yeah. I always love playing bass and I continue to do it. So I'm just
How did you get into? Did you always play bass, or was it like?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I started actually playing ukulele. So that was my first instrument, and I actually started playing ukulele with all my cousins. So my cousins, when I was with Opihi Pickers, my first group, and we still play to today. And my cousins Imoa and Hoku, we all used to play ukulele, all of us, and we just started playing ukulele, and all of us played ukulele, and that's all we did. And as we started to form a group, we knew that we had to like learn other instruments. So it was funny because on stage we used to switch every song. Like, okay, you play ukulele this song, you play guitar this song, I play this song, and we would switch. But over time, at playing out all these gigs and shows, it wasn't working out too well. So we just decided, okay, hey, choose an instrument, stick to that instrument, perfect your craft. And just stick to that. So that's what we did. Yeah.
Did you want to play bass, or you got stuck with playing bass?
I did. Okay, I love playing. I love playing ukulele. Ukulele is always my first love. But man, when I got to the bass, like, it's just a groove. Bass is all about feel. It's all about feel.
Yeah.
And just come up with bass lines and get that groove going. If you don't have that feel, then bass is not for you. It's a simple instrument, but it just comes down to technique, fundamentals, and just vibing. You gotta vibe, without the bass, that's it, man.
Yeah. I always like watching a bass player. They're always the one that looks
grooving, right?
Super cool. He always has shades on and just like in the back, just doing this. He doesn't seem like they want the limelight, but they just cruise in the back and just do their thing and just look like they're having the most fun. Other than drummers, bro. Drummers must gas out, bro.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, drummers go all up. I mean, that's exactly how I am. Like I choose not to be in the front in the limelight and not the front line, so to speak. I love playing bass in the background, but it doesn't say that the bass players doesn't have a big role in the group. They do.
100%.
And especially with the groups I play with now. I mean, without the bass, like I said, you won't have music without the bass and drums. So it's important. We are important for us bass players.
And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to have you on, because not many bass players get interviewed or get any kind of shine. They're just the guys
Yeah,
in the background holding a beat. But at least I know you personally, so I'm like, oh, let's give him some shine and see
yeah,
what like
yeah,
playing bass is all about. So
yep.
you grew up. How old were you guys when you guys started, or you guys was
Wow.
doing little kid time?
I want to say we started in 94, 95, and I was like still in high school. You know, my cousin Imoa was still in middle school. He was probably like, I want to say he first started when he was like 9 years old. But we all started, pretty much still in high school still in school, and we just pretty much just played together. We just picked up the ukulele and learned it. And my cousin Imoa was pretty much our mentor. He developed the ukulele so quickly at such a young age that we knew he had a special talent. And
Okay.
he went to Roy Sakuma for a couple of lessons and so. And after that, he started teaching the teachers. So he got so good, and he just had this gift that he started teaching the teachers. So he stopped going to lessons. But the funny thing about that, each week he would come back and he would actually charge Hoku and I like whatever he learned for his lessons. He would charge it for us. Like, hey, $10. You like learn what I learned? Give me ten
For real.
dollars. So, so every week he would make money off of us learning
Oh,
whatever lessons that he did. So that was something funny. And yeah, something that he did, learning ukulele at Sukuma. But yeah, we
oh, so
started off young.
he had a business aspect of the game already locked down.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But I mean, we all play together, and we still do, and it's always great to come back and do some of these reunion shows and
Yeah.
get together. It's busy, we all have families, we all have kids now, so it's hard to get together. But when we do, it's fun. Yeah,
You guys kind of took a break for a while. Not broke
we
up, but
did.
you guys took a
Yeah.
what caused that? Just life or
Yeah, I guess life. I mean, at one point I think we were like 7 albums in. Like we were together for so long that we had recorded 7 albums, and we looked at, okay, what are we gonna do going forward? And I think Imua actually had an opportunity to form another group with his wife, and I think their group was One Right Turn, and they were able to
okay.
tour and go to the East Coast and West Coast and all these places, and he just wanted to do a different type of music and genre of music. But not also with Imua. Kevin wanted to do his solo thing as well, and Kevin is doing solo stuff. So it was a good time for us just to kind of take a break from Opihi Pickers and just venture off and achieve some of those other goals that we wanted.
Oh, mean. I didn't realize you had that many albums. That's a lot of work you guys did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we're 7 albums in, and man, it was a journey, and it's good. It's still good to get back together with those guys. Like I said, we just got back together last week for a gig. We have one this weekend. So I'll see those guys. It's graduation season, right? It's busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you guys ever thought about maybe recording something in the future or
So we have, I think when we first kind of got back into like the reunion shows and these exclusive concerts, we did record a single. And I want to say maybe, I mean, it's been a while, but I want to say, don't quote me on this, probably like 2016, 2018, we came out with a single from Opihi Pickers. It was called Don't Let Me Go, Girl.
oh
And it was
yeah.
just something just to get the ball rolling, get people excited that we were kind of coming back and doing some of these shows. So, but it's definitely in the works. I think with the group, and we see the demand. I mean, we're still having people view our music and
Oh yeah.
download and stream our music. That you never know. We might come out with a single here and there just to kind of keep it fresh and keep it new.
That's
Yeah,
super cool.
yeah,
And OP Pickers, you guys are gonna be on the next birthday bash, so that's coming up
yeah,
soon, right?
yeah. So birthday bash is July 29th. So we'll
Oh,
be doing
real
the
soon.
major Raja. It's Aloha, I think Aloha Stadium, the parking lot over there with Ray Jr. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're excited to do that, get back with the boys and do one of those big concerts. So come on down.
So what? Do you guys have to like? You guys actually gotta take time and rehearse, or it's like,
We
bruh, let's
do.
just go on stage and we're good already.
Yeah, like with the OP Pickers music, it's I mean, if you listen to it, it's very intricate, very challenging. Some of the music, Imbo didn't make it easy for us, should I say? He's so talented that he went in the studio and I mean, he recorded these parts, and we get together, and we have practices and whatnot. So yeah, we definitely have to prepare for the Pickers stuff. I do, and so the rest of the guys do too.
Okay, but that's
Yeah,
always cool to see, and you guys always show when you guys are performing that you guys at least look like you guys are having fun. I'm sure you are, but
Oh
you
yeah,
definitely portray like you guys look like you love what you guys are doing.
of
And
course. I think music for me is like it's my passion, you know. And that's you can ask any musician that a true musician would say music is his passion, and that's something I would always do, you know, for the most part, and as long as I can do as long as I can continue to do it, and still have the opportunity to do the passion that I love, then I would continue to do it. And just been fortunate, man. After all these years, you know, still be able to play with different bands and established bands that are still keeping busy, recording albums, coming out with new material, keeping me busy, and
yeah.
having that opportunity has just been very fortunate and blessed.
Oh, that's super cool. Like, with the way things are now, and you guys been performing and in the island music scene for multiple
Mhm.
multiple years, where and how do you think the way island music is going now, the direction it's in, and how much it progressed from when you guys first
Oh
started?
yeah. So I think before, man, it had kind of had this you know, certain style of Jerwine, should I say, Jerwine
Yeah, yeah,
reggae, should want to say, you know, where it was really simplified, you know, two chords, real simplified, had a groove and whatnot. I think as time went on, you see like the R&B singers kind of intertwining with the reggae. You know, artists like Fia and Rebel Soldiers, you know, all great
yeah,
vocalists where they kind of intertwine with the R&B and those vocal runs with reggae, and it works. So I think over time it definitely has changed, but I think it developed something even greater and such a bigger broad span for other artists, you know, worldwide, and for just a genre of island reggae. So it's been good. It's been good to see how it's been changed over the years, and it's going to continue to change, and yeah, I look forward to the next generation, whatever comes up.
yeah, that's super
Yeah.
cool. And with the internet now and like iHeartRadio, it's
Mhm.
accessible, like you said, worldwide, and people
Yeah.
seek it out. I had Big Cole, who's a producer for one of
Yeah.
the island
Yeah.
radio stations, and
Yeah, I think Island
he
95. Yeah,
yeah,
95.
he
Yeah.
would tell me like they get a lot of response from mainland people listening to it, or
Yeah.
other countries like Australia,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah. So
yeah.
if you go like for all these artists, you know, who have all their music streamed online, whether it's Spotify or whatever digital platform, they can pull up all these numbers and see what countries and how many countries are listening to their music and streaming their music. And you'll be shocked, man. You'll get you know, people streaming like all the way in like Africa, or like somewhere crazy you wouldn't even think of. And it just shows you how music can just travel around the world. And if you just have a
Yeah,
good vibe, a good song, just the island reggae itself, it's been definitely getting out to the whole world. So and it's been
yeah.
really cool to see that. Yeah.
And it's kind of interchanging too with California reggae. A lot
Oh yeah,
of
very
bands
different.
like the Cali Roots and stuff like that,
Yeah.
is like they do have a lot of local artists in those
Mhm.
shows. And have you got to play in any of those stuffs?
I did actually. We just came back with Kolohe Kai. I think 2 weeks ago we did our first Cali Roots Festival, and that
Oh,
was
me.
amazing. So we just did that 2 weeks ago. That was our first time. That's a very prestigious, you know, California festival over there, and was able to do that. And we co-headlined one of the main stages. So,
Oh,
man,
wow.
we're just really fortunate. Like I said, really fortunate to get these time slots and experience what Cali Roots is all about. So it was fun.
Oh, that's big time. So your tour with Kolohe Kai,
Yes.
do you record with them also?
So no, the recordings, I'm pretty much just like the live musicians. So I
Oh,
pretty
okay,
much
okay.
just the live musicians for all the shows and whatnot. And when Roman and the team, when he records his music and his songs, he pretty much takes it to an engineer who does the music for him. So he records a lot
Oh,
with Imua. So my cousin Imua, he records with Noah Cronin a lot, from C Major 7, and I think he does some stuff with Pena for Capena, you know, Penabu. So he
oh,
does
yeah,
some,
yeah,
all those engineers are pretty much, you know, they do all the music for them. Roman will come in with his song or his idea, and he'll show them what he has, and they'll kind of put the music together for them. And then he just sends us the files, and we learn it, and we practice it, and we play it on stage. So
oh,
that's
wow.
the process right there.
How? Oh, I never knew that, bro. That's
Yeah,
kind of interesting. How
yeah.
hard is it to learn? Like, I mean, I'm sure you're a seasoned vet, so you could probably pick it up pretty quick. But like,
Yeah.
you just listen to it, and then you can just feel it.
Yeah, yeah. For the most part, I mean, he'll give us the tracks and whatever's easier for us. And maybe he'll do a like a -1 take where he'll put the bass higher than everything else, so I can kind of hear the bass
Okay.
lines and learn it. But for the most part, when it comes down to island reggae, you'll have the structure of a bass line will be you'll have a bass line for the verse, and then you'll change the bass line for the chorus. And usually you'll just kind of just go back and forth from there. So it's pretty easy. It depends on the group, but that's how it is with Kolohe Kai and with Rebel Soldiers that I play. If you say Opihi Pickers, it's different, man. It seems like bass lines is like you're picking the whole way. I mean, there's some structure
Oh,
involved, man. Yeah, boy, made it hard for me. That's when it gets challenging.
gets fun though. I like
It
you.
does. It challenges you as a musician to get better, right? So, yeah. So we just get the files and we've been doing it for a while, and we just listen to it and take the time to learn the music, and we get together, have a few rehearsals, and we piece the puzzle together. Everyone did their homework, then it's quick, and we go on tour and we perform the shows.
Oh, that's super cool. Have you
Yeah.
ever had formal training where you learn notes and all that?
Not formal training with bass or anything like that. Yeah, I was just shown like, hey, here's G, here's A, here's F, and those kind of things. And I would just listen to the radio and listen to Bob Marley and all those famous bass lines and just figure it out and learn it. So that's what I
Oh,
did
wow.
as a bass player. And any reggae songs that I like, some of the bass lines too, I would just sit and put my earphones on and learn these bass lines because it got me better to learn what they're doing, learn the feel, how they're playing it. Because when it comes to bass, people think it's so simple, and it's not. It's all about tone. It's all
Oh,
about how
yeah.
if you hold the notes longer, if you're gonna make it more shorter, there's a lot more dynamics involved if you want to mute the chord, if you want to mute the note. So there's a lot more technique involved when it comes to bass. Yeah,
Yeah. Have
people don't
have
know.
you Oh yeah, Brian. And I'm a like I'm a fan of rock music. And
Oh yeah.
so like rock, the way they play bass, like they'll bang it and like
Yeah,
they'll
just real
they'll be
steady, just
yeah,
walking, do,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Have,
yeah,
can you play like different kinds of genre of
yeah,
music with the bass? Like
yeah.
rock
I do
or
good. So I mean, when it comes to reggae, I mean, you're playing reggae bass lines and whatnot. Those are always fun. I do worship as well at church.
okay.
So when it comes to worship music, that's kind of like rock music itself, right?
Yeah.
It's contemporary rock. So that's when I'm talking about, you're just doing the steady bass line, do. So, yeah, I do play the other genres. Not only that, sometimes I like to play some funk. If I listen to some
Oh,
slapping and some slap bass, those are always fun. So over the years, you learn to appreciate just music in general and not just stick to one genre. You want to learn different styles. Maybe even jazz and
yeah.
learn different chord scales and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely enjoy learning different types of genres of music.
Oh, that's super nuts. Like, so if I were to give you a sheet of music, you probably couldn't figure it out, but if you heard it, you could
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
there you go.
That's
I mean,
awesome, bro.
when it comes to like if you give me like a piano lead sheet, like yeah, I mean, it'll take me a while to read it, but if I just give me like the song and I can just listen to it and then I'll just pick it up quick. So that's
Oh,
just that's
that's
just how I learn. That's how I learn new
yeah.
music. Yeah. Other
What I
other musicians are different, right? They like to have tabs and notes and chords and all that, and
yeah,
that's great. And that's great too. I think it just comes down to the musician and how he learns and what's
yeah.
doing.
And have you wrote your own music?
I don't. I'm not really a writer. I wish I did. I think songwriting is a special gift. I've tried. I want to say maybe I've written maybe like one or two songs like my whole career. Definitely never recorded any of them. I showed I showed some of those ideas to the boys, with the pickers, but it didn't make the cut. Sad to
Oh,
say.
okay,
but
okay.
it's a hard thing. I mean, you have to have man, being a songwriter, you can have like songwriter's block for a long
Oh
time,
yeah.
and that's where you have no ideas, no melodies. And the best songwriters go through those times. And for me, I just wasn't gifted in that area. So I just stuck on
Yeah.
my strengths and just continue to play bass and give me the music, I'll learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I notice, and I'm not sure a lot of people know it, but a lot of local music is derived from country. Like I'll
Yeah.
hear, because my girlfriend will play like country songs. I'm like, wait a second, that's Tree Plus. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's not even their real song. Like, so
Yeah.
even Capenna plays a lot of
Yeah.
country music and reggae fies it, I guess,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it's kind of interchangeable, right? Those two
Yeah.
genres.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of styles. I mean, you can take an R&B song and make it reggae. I think any style of a song or genre of a song, you can always make it reggae. I think Mooli has been doing a great job. You know, Brent has
Yeah.
been doing a lot of those country songs, Brent Young and all these artists, and he's making it to his own style, and he's been really successful with it. He's coming out with great material. So I mean, a lot of people are doing that, and it works. It works with the style. It depends how you do it, and you have to do it right. But he's been
Yeah.
definitely doing a good thing. I think with Kolohe, I think I was speaking to Roman this past tour, and he wants to do maybe an R&B song and convert it to reggae. So that's probably in the works too. Maybe like a Brian McKnight song or something. He was
Oh
saying
wow.
he's a big Boys to Men fan, so maybe something like that, just to kind of change it up. Change up the original song and make it reggae so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Roman from Kolohe Kai, he's very talented. He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like
Very
everything
talented.
he touches turns to gold. And
Yeah.
I got to work with Kolohe Kai previously at Aloha Laulea.
Okay.
I think it was one of the CD release was a while ago, but
Yeah.
that guy is very hands-on with the show, especially
Oh
now.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
He's a perfectionist, and it's good to see an artist, wanting everything to be perfect. You appreciate those things, right? Sometimes you have artists who are just, that's fine, it's good enough. But when it comes to Roman, he wants perfectionist, and it's good that he wants to get his hands involved in everything, and just to make sure that everyone's doing their job and that his vision that he sees for his music. Because when you think about these songwriters, they're writing these songs, and these songs are like their babies, right? These are their
Yeah.
babies. They're putting out, so they want everything to be perfect. So yeah, he's a perfectionist, and I enjoy working with him and the team to do the best that we can for the shows. And anything that he needs, he'll come and ask me, or for if I had any advice on something. So I think at the beginning, I would always give him advice and working with set lists and different songs and what
Okay.
would work and what won't work. So yeah, it's been a joy. It's been a joy working with that team and with Kolohe Kai, and he's super talented. Ever since he was in high school, he was writing songs. I think he wrote "Ehu Girl" when he was in high school. He wrote "Cool Down" when he was in high school, and and he's continuing to keep writing great hits and real catchy tunes. So props to
Yeah,
him.
he
Props to him.
even was on American Idol.
Yeah, dude,
That
that was
was
crazy.
that was
Yeah,
super cool to see. Like he,
that was
I was happy that they showcased a local
yeah,
island song. And
yeah.
bruh, oh, they must have got a bunch of downloads after that.
Yeah, so I think when it came down to Ian Tongi, it was, and he really put Hawaii and island reggae music on that map, because being on that stage, worldwide stage or nationwide stage on American Idol, he could have chose any song. He could have chose something more familiar that everyone knew nationally, and
Yeah,
and probably would have made it great and probably still would have won. But what he did, he decided to choose to stick to his hometown, to his roots, and showcase island reggae music. And big props to that team and told me, because he showcased Kolohe Kai's Cool Down. He did Spawn Breezy's song. He did a couple other covers that I think Molly did, and some other stuff. But I think just those two songs alone, since it was originals, it
yeah,
definitely helped out those artists. So I think after he did that song and he won the finals with Cool Down, I want to say like Cool Down came like number one for like almost 2 weeks, like on the reggae charts. It was crazy because this song came out in 2009. Like, I mean, not saying it wasn't selling, but you can think over how many years ago, right? 2009 it came out. Ian Tongi did it on the finals. He won, and then boom, all of a sudden it went to number one. I mean, surpassing Bar Marley, who and all these
oh
artists who's been on the top 10 for like so many years. So yeah, it was great to see, and I know Roman was so thankful for EM just to showcase island reggae, and
yeah,
just hometown talent and people of Hawaii. Put people of Hawaii on the map with our music, and
yeah.
Man,
Did he have to get permission or like
yeah, so I didn't know about that, but you know, when I was talking with him, so here's a story. You know, he said he was at home or wherever he was at, and he got a call and it said American Idol on it. So he's like, hello? And he's like, is this for Ian Tongi? He's like, yes. Like, bro, anything for him. Make him happy. And I don't care. You can use any song he likes. So he was all down for it. He was totally for it. But the thing is, he didn't know that it got confirmed. So like they just asked for permission, and as time went
Oh,
by, and it came to the finals, he wasn't sure if they're going to choose his songs. He was like, bro, I don't know if they're going to choose my song. I don't know. So when you seen that reaction, I don't know if you seen his reaction, that video that he
yeah.
had. We was watching, that was his honest reaction. Like he didn't know that they were going to
Oh,
choose the song.
I
Yeah.
thought it was staged, bro.
No, it
I thought
wasn't
he was
staged.
milking it.
He didn't know. Like, so they just asked for permission to use the song, but he never got a call back saying, "Hey, we go use your song," but you know, we go use your song. It's
Oh,
confirmed. So he didn't know. So when he first seen it on the finals, he was shocked. Like, bro,
oh,
she was my song, bro. I cannot believe it. Like, bro, right on. Like, good for you.
okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was like, oh, this guy's milky. Okay,
No, no, he
so
wasn't making
he
it up. It
he
was an
knew
honest
there was a
reflection.
possibility that
There's a
his song might
possibility.
be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
There's a
get it.
possibility, and when he seen it, you know, when he seen him
Oh,
perform
that
it,
is a
I mean,
that's a
he
true
heard the
reaction
intro.
then.
Yeah, he heard the intro and he was like, bro, it just blew his mind, man.
That's
Blew
super
his mind.
cool.
Yeah, that
Like
was
you
a good
said, he
good
wrote it
moment.
in high school, bro.
He
Who
did,
would have
yeah. He
thought it
wrote
would have
that
been
back in high
played
school.
on
Yeah,
American Idol?
yeah, it's crazy. And then I think this past tour that we went up to the mainland too was able to FaceTime EM Tongi. So we did like a little FaceTime with him, and his first time Roman meeting, you know, EM on the phone and whatnot, and was
Oh,
just
that's cool.
telling him thank you and for all he did and just connecting with him and whatnot. And you can imagine it's hard to get through someone who just won American Idol, right?
Oh
You probably
yeah.
have family and friends trying to call you and producers and record labels and whatnot. So in order to get a hold of him, man, it was just great that Danny, our manager, he was able to get a hold of the mom and just to kind of touch bases and say thank you. And you know, we never know. Maybe down the road we could do something together with him, and hopefully something that would work out. Maybe bring him on stage and cool
Yeah.
down. That'd be
Oh,
pretty
that'd
cool.
be sick.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
you never
awesome.
know. Yeah.
So you got to tour a lot with multiple bands. What
Yes.
would you say like the biggest show that you ever did where you were on stage and it's like, oh shit, like
Okay.
this?
Oh wow, there's so many. Well, lately we've been doing a lot of festival gigs with Kolohe Kai, but I think the one that really sticks out, and you can ask any musician who's been there, is the One Love Festival in New Zealand. Man,
Okay.
it's pretty much like the Woodstock of reggae. I mean, if you ever been to the One Love Festival in New Zealand, I mean, these Maoris, they love Hawaii music. I mean, they love all the island reggae music. They love it. And you're talking about 30,000 deep, you know what I mean, at these big festivals. And they're just raging, bro. They're raging, and it could be raining and they don't care. They're still raging. They're raging hard. So I think that was probably my biggest stage that I've been to because I didn't know what to expect. I heard about it. But until you're actually on stage and you see it for yourself, you're like, whoa, like, whoa. I hope I don't mess up with my notes today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I hope I don't do something wrong. I hope I don't sing flat, you know, something. But yeah, the One Love. And that's always something fortunate to do. We actually just did the One Love Festival this earlier in the year, in January. We were supposed to do that
Okay.
show. We went up and you know, Rebel Soldiers came up too, Kolohe Kai. I think Fiji Mooli was up there too. But unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. It rained out. They had a flood in New Zealand when we were
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it flooded so bad to the point where they had to cancel the show. So they canceled the show.
But you guys
They
were up there already?
we were up there already. Yeah,
Oh wow.
pretty much the airport in Auckland was just flooded. Like we couldn't have any international artists fly in. So I think Hollywood's got stuck at the airport. I want to say Steel Pulse got stuck, and they
Oh
pretty much had to
wow.
cancel the show because it was unsafe. They found a different venue indoors, but it was a lot smaller venue. But yeah, that I think that festival was the biggest one that I've ever played at, the One Love Festival in New Zealand.
Oh wow. That must have been crazy. Did you
Oh
get
yeah.
nervous or was like, oh, I got this?
Yeah, I mean, once you get on stage, like you see, like especially like if you have a good time slot and you're playing at night and whatnot, and you know you pretty much just went on right after like Fiji or someone huge that you looked up, you're like, "Rah, what am I doing here? You know, am I worthy of being on this stage? Like Fiji just played before us, like we should be playing before him, you know, like." But I think it's just get in that right mindset and that right zone where you're like, hey, you know what? You worked hard to get here. You're capable of doing that. Just put your head, know what you're doing. You've been playing this for how many years? You know the song, you know the notes that you're playing, and just just tune out everything and just perform. And that's what we just do.
How was it when you were playing for Opihi Pickers when you first got like a huge gig? Like we're okay, we're at the Shell. Like how
Yeah,
was that for because you guys started, like you said, in high school and
yeah,
kind of worked your way up, but eventually you guys made it on the big stage, at least
yeah.
in Hawaii. How were
Mhm.
those first big shows, nervous wise? And it's like, oh,
Oh
bro,
yeah.
like that
I,
must
I
have
would
been
say
big.
Yeah, I would say maybe when we're younger, it's a lot more nervous, right? Because a lot more nerves. It's your first time for everything. So yeah, with the Pickers, I think when we first played at the show, I mean, yeah, we were nervous, definitely nervous. We had multiple rehearsals. We had vocal rehearsals, making sure we had everything down. And then still, when you're on stage, you got to be prepared for everything, right? Not all the time you have a perfect show, but
Yeah.
the show continues to go on. Sometimes the sound might not work or something technical difficulties that happens in the show, but the show must go on. You got to still perform and do it. So I have to edit that. My dog
Ah,
is,
no,
is
no worries, no worries.
yeah. So I mean, with the Pickers, we definitely were nervous the first time playing the show, but it's also a goal of ours.
Yeah.
Um, a few of the goals that we had growing up with their music career was get our song play on the radio, which was the first song that was exciting. We are calling each other, "Oh, bro, you heard them? They're playing old fashioned touch. They're playing old fashioned touch. Oh, they're playing Victim." Like it's so exciting to hear, the music that you created and that you put so much hard work into, and then you hear it on the radio. It's exciting. That was one of our goals, and then also to play at the Waikiki Shell. As a musician, when you play at the Shell, like that's when like, hey, I made, you made it. It's a big
Yeah.
accomplishment to play at the Shell. So yeah, we did that many times, and yeah, just like I said, just so fortunate, man, just to continue to do these things and still play. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
So
still today, 25 years later, should I say, been doing this for a long time and still fortunate to play with established bands that are continue to come up with new music and write new material and keep us busy. So
well, it
very
seems
blessed.
like you're like a go-to bass player that you can pick it up easy and like you said, the bands trust you with their music live, and that's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
You ever mess up or what?
Oh yeah, man. I think for me, like we're our biggest critic, right? It's like
Yeah.
even if it's a little thing and people may not notice, like it's a big thing to us, right? So I definitely messed up on some shows, and like maybe they haven't noticed it, but I noticed it. And for me, I want to work on that and make sure I don't make those easy mistakes, those mistakes I shouldn't have made, but I did. So I
Yeah.
think it just makes me better as a musician to pay attention to those times when I have my nerves get the best of me and say, hey, just do what you do. You've been doing this for a while and continue to play these bass lines that you've been playing for a while and don't worry about anything else. So
Yeah. Well, you probably have some stories being on tour, and
yeah,
I mean, I've been on small tours to like outer islands when we did shows with Ray and
yeah,
took our shows to other islands. But there's a lot, like you said, a lot of adversity and a lot of things that can go wrong, and
yeah,
there's a lot of like crazy stuff that happens just
yeah.
with the band and
Hmm.
different bands and
Yeah,
girls
different
trying to get all
personalities.
crazy and like
Yeah.
just people coming to the hotel and
Hmm.
like I've noticed that you were on a grander scale. Like what were some of the things that were crazy that happened to you or your guys tour when
Yeah.
you guys are touring different countries and
Yeah.
like different states?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it comes down with, the character too of the musician, right? I was always raised well, I was raised well, um, been raised in a Christian church for as long as I was born. Um, and it's always about having morals and whatnot. Of course, you come into those times where you have temptations and different opportunities. And I think when in my younger days, when I wasn't married and no commitments, no girlfriends, we all had our fun. We all had our fun. You
Yeah.
could talk to the musician. We did that, and yeah, there's some stories that comes up, and there's some crazy times. But I think after a while, once you know, go through that, you realize like, hey, you know, it's just a phase. It wasn't for me. And as I got older and, you know, got more grounded and you know, I got married and all that, I realized like, hey, all this fun stuff is not worth it. You got to just know how to handle it, right? And know
Yeah.
to put yourself in the right situations. Like, and luckily with the groups that I've been with, you know, with Kolohe Kai, you know, for the most part, we're mellow guys. We're all family oriented guys. We're all family mans, you know, and we have kids of our own, and that's important, you know, for us as our families. So, yeah, I think in my younger days, I definitely had those opportunities and tried to stay away from those and it depends on the group itself too, right? If you're with a group that
Yeah.
always parties and goes out or smokes or whatever, and you know, you want to be able to have that line like, hey, you know, bro, I'm cool with you like that on stage, but if you're gonna do that on
Yeah.
your side, you can go ahead and do that on your side. Um, that's I mean, yeah, that's how I would say. I mean, I ain't saying I'm a saint, you know. I had my
Yeah.
fun time when I was younger, you know, when I was younger, but definitely learned from that and matured from that and grown from that. And now my family is everything to me, you know.
Yeah. I definitely understand because,
Yeah.
bro, like for us as promoters, we we had a lot of headache, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah, I can imagine.
these guys be drugged out the night before, and they're trying almost missing flights, and we can't
Wow.
find the lead singer, and we're leaving in an hour. Is like, bro, it's just it was a lot. Or people
Yeah,
smuggling weed onto the airplane, or
yeah, that's
it
crazy.
was just random things that I would never like. There's nothing could have prepared me for that, so I could
Mhm.
have to counteract it, and then it's
Yeah, how
like,
to
okay,
react.
now we're doing damage control.
Yeah, so I think it's just making sure you're with the right group
Yeah,
of people, right? The right
that's true.
group of guys. I mean, if you're with a band that parties, then hey, guess what? You know,
You know
you're
what
gonna
you
get
signed up
influenced to
for.
party too. You know what I mean? If you're with a
Yeah,
band that's good head on the shoulders, you're not willing to do that, then you know it's all about who you hang out with, right? It's gonna influence you to do certain things. So I think
yeah,
that's why it's very important to make sure that you're working with bands that are on the same mindset as you, same season in life as you. You know, you
yeah.
don't want to be. I'm not going to be playing with a younger group that's going to go out and party and smoke and drink a night and get drunk and all that. You know, I'm too old for that, bro. We're too old for that.
Yeah, they gotta pay me to do.
Yeah, yeah. I'll watch you. I'll watch you, and you know,
Yeah,
I'll have my I'll just laugh at you while you make yourself
yeah.
you know, look bad or whatever you want to say.
Well, what one thing I do know about you, and I've been like following your career
Mhm.
and seeing what you do, and what impresses me the most isn't your music, it's how you
Mhm.
are as a father.
Yeah,
And that's something I hold dear to me.
yeah,
And I see what you do. I see how much you put your family first, especially your
yes.
kids, and that's something that drives you. And bro, you have all these gigs,
Mhm.
you work a full-time job, correct?
Yes.
And you take your kids everywhere. You're there for
Yeah.
all their sporting events and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And for me, that's important. Like there's
Mhm.
always a time in my life that I could look in the stands, whether it be a football game at a little stadium, or
Mhm.
little kid baseball, soccer. I could look in the stands and see my parents, and that's something I always
Mhm.
emulated. And my daughter plays volleyball now, and
Yeah.
I gotta be to every single.
Got it.
I go to most of her practices, but
That's good.
I
Yeah.
know you do the same thing, and that's something I definitely respect you for. How do you love being a dad?
You know what? I think for me, and it's just me, being a father is the greatest. It's the greatest job that I can ever do. You know, I love playing music. I love touring. Um, I love what I do, but when it comes down to being a father, it's just something else. I mean, they bring so much, they fulfill you with so much joy at the same time. You know, they can drive you crazy. You know how it is, especially with my kids. You know, they're at that age where they're talking back. It's like, man, I miss when you was young and you wasn't talking back. But I think with kids, you know, they just want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to be appreciated. And I think for me as a father, um, I want to give my kids everything that I didn't have, and I want to teach them life skills that I didn't learn as a kid, you know. So for me as a father, I think I hold that first above all everything else. I want to be present, and when it comes to my kids, they spell love with time, right? I have to show
Yeah.
time with them. So I want to be able to go to these soccer games. I want to be able to go to these karate practices, be able to take my daughter to hula and whatnot, and go to her hula performances. So I think being a father is just, man, it's been a blessing. And if I could just hang out with my kids every day and not have to work or play music, I would, but as a father, we have to provide for our kids. We have to provide
Yeah.
for our family. And living in Hawaii is expensive, and that's why I have all these multiple things that I'm doing to support my kids and my family with. But man, yeah, I love being a father, definitely.
How
Yeah.
are they with you when you have to leave for tour and stuff?
You
Is
know,
it
for the for
hard?
the most, yeah, for the most part, not too bad.
Or they're
I
like,
have
Daddy's gone, it's gonna be a party, Nana.
No, I mean, with anything, you have children who kind of lean more to mommy, and you have some that
Yeah.
lean to daddy. So I would say maybe like 2 out of 3. They're like, "Oh, Dad, when you going on tour?" Like, okay. Oh, when you coming back? Like, oh, I'll be back in like 1 week or 2 weeks. Okay, I'll see you. Like, that's it. Like, no, I'll FaceTime you, so I'll talk with you. Like, okay, well, I'll keep contact with you. And then there's another one like, "Oh, Dad, how long am I going to be gone for? I'm going to be gone for this long." Like, oh. Um, are you gonna come back any sooner? Like they're asking questions. I mean, some
Oh
takes it
yeah.
differently, and I think just even when I'm on tour, there's still times where I have a lot of dead space or just dead time where I can actually call family and just connect
Yeah.
with my kids and just being there for them and saying, hey, I didn't forget about you. I'm still here. I'm always a dad, no matter if I'm still working or not. I'm always there for you. So for
Yeah.
the most part, they got used to it and they know it's daddy's job and they handle it pretty well.
Yeah. How is it when do they get to watch you perform?
Yeah, so I have actually my son Elijah. He's a musician, man. He loves coming with me to my gigs. Like if he finds out I have a gig, he'll be like, Dad, you have a gig? Oh, can I come with you? So I'll take him with me. I see the passion with him with music, like how I had it when I was younger. He loves playing
Oh,
drums. He loves playing drums, man. So I'll take him to these gigs with me. He'll watch the drummer, and it's funny because he'll come home and I got my electric drum kit at home. He'll come
oh
home and
no.
he'll like practice and like start playing what he heard at the gig. Like, where you learned that from?
Oh.
Like, oh, I heard it at the Rebel Soldier gig, where I heard it at the Kolohe Kai, the drummer did this. Like, oh wow. So you see those same qualities and that passion and that drive. So I just try to just take that and just continue to help him in whatever he needs. And like, hey, daddy has a gig, wanna come watch? Like, yeah, he's always down for that.
Oh,
So
that's super.
one
You
of my
ever
boys.
jam with him?
Not yet, because I mean, right now he's still kind of learning. He's only 8 years old, so
Oh, okay, okay.
he's kind of just smashing drums around. But right now he can hold a beat now. So maybe when it gets a
Oh,
little better, I can show him a couple more beats and maybe I'll bust out the bass and we'll do some groove
yo,
stuff with some bass stuff.
let him
I
jump on
definitely want to teach him the
stage.
basics. Yeah, yeah, you never know. Like, Capena has that, right, from
Oh,
generation to
bruh.
generation, and
Yo.
now they have his grandson playing drum. It's crazy,
Oh
and
man, his whole band
I
is
love to.
all of Copena's his kids
I
now.
know.
Huh?
I would love to do that with my kids. I mean, I think any musician would, right? Any musician would love to see their kids follow in their footsteps. So, man,
Yeah,
that's a blessing to see. The Lima family do that from generation to generation. So, I hope to
that's
do that with
super
my
cool.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're from what I know about you, you're heavily involved in your church and the church
Yes.
community.
Yes.
How has that been? I mean, that's a strong role. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
kind of a leadership role. What do you
It
do
is.
for your church?
So I'm the worship leader. I've been the worship leader for our church for almost 15 years. In October, I make 15 years, and I pretty much just lead the music for the church and for the congregation. And I do, putting the set lists together, and I'm working with the pastor on the flow of service and whatnot, and just help build the team, pretty much like the music director, and help build the team and learn the new music that we're performing each and every Sunday. Um, it's a big role, as a worship leader, because it's different from being with reggae artists or island reggae music, because you're getting paid to do that music. When it comes to church, you're working with volunteers, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
a different mindset, and it's more of an encouraging mindset.
Mm,
I can't be on them like, hey, you made a mistake, you did this wrong. I have to have it with a tender heart, with a understanding heart, and have grace for the musicians, for the singers, and that we're all here for one purpose, and that's to serve God, right? And to use the
yeah.
talent that He has given us to glorify
Oh,
His name. So, For me as a worship leader, definitely learned that over the years. And you go through your transitions and your seasons and whatnot, and it can be tough too at times. You have a team that's solid, and you lose people that go to the mainland or whatnot. Then you have to build another team. So it's a lot of transitioning with different team members and different personalities, and making sure that we grow together as one team. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. When you guys perform, like, what is it like? Just a choir, or you guys have a
Just
band? Like,
a band, just a worship team. So like I'll be the worship leader, I'll play bass. I have a guitar player, acoustic guitar player, a keyboard player, a drummer, electric guitar player, whatever it is. And then I'll have a full vocalist, a few vocalists, maybe like three or so vocalists. And we just play contemporary, Christian music that's out now, stuff from Hillsong, stuff from Bethel music. I mean, all these popular artists. Phil Wickham is another popular one. And if you know Christian music, Christian is like pretty much like rock, right? It's like
yeah,
contemporary rock. So it's good to play different genres as well. But I think worship music is so much more powerful than any other music that I play. I love playing reggae music. I love playing groove. But when it's worshiping and playing for God, and just honoring Him for the talent He has given Him, and just continue to serve whatever talents He has given. I mean, we're all here for a purpose, right? We're all here on this world for a purpose. And if you can find your purpose that God has given you, and you continue to glorify Him, it's the biggest blessing I can say. And yeah, I just look forward to that each and every week. It's that I really feel bad about it when I have these tours and I have to go on tour and I have to have someone else fill in for me. 'Cause I feel like I'm letting my team down, and I know I'm going
yeah,
there for work, but I want to be able to put God first as well. This is my ministry. I hold it up to high regards. I want to do my very best in what I do, and give it all to Him. So it's definitely hard when I go on these tours and I'm gone for like 3 weeks at a time, because I want to make sure
yeah.
that they're good and they're prepared and they have everything they need before I go on these tours.
Oh, so you have a full-fledged band. You guys are pretty
Yeah.
much
Like
playing
another group.
concerts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, in the house of the Lord, right? In the house
Yeah.
of the Lord, the
Yeah.
church. And luckily, our church is not one of those big mega churches like New Hope or nothing
Oh,
huge. Our congregation is a couple hundred. I mean, it's not too bad. I would say about 200 or so, mid 200s. And yeah, it's in Salt Lake. It's Island Family Christian Church. I
oh,
pretty much
nice.
raised in that church, and yeah, it's been a good thing. Like my cousin Emo used to lead worship over there too before, and now he's doing at a C4 with in Kahala. So yeah, that's my ministry is very important to me, and I always make sure that I try to put that first and put God first as a foundation of my life.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
that's definitely where your passion is.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been to some of those New Hope and other Christian, and it's like kind of not takes away from the word, but oh, bruh, it's a full-fledged production. Like,
It can be, yeah, yeah. So it depends it depends what church you go to, and
yeah.
you know, I think for me as a worship leader, I mean, you'll go to those big churches and it'll just be like all performance, right? You got the
Oh, yeah.
smoke and the lighting and all
Yeah.
this. But for me, sometimes all that stuff can be a distraction. How do you can have a real
Yeah.
connection with the Holy Spirit during that time? You're seeing all these bells and whistles and all that should make the perfect show, but it shouldn't be about that. It should be led by the Spirit. It should be
Yeah.
always worship and led by the Spirit, and that's what I try to. And for our church, we don't have any of those big things. We don't have any of those big
Yeah.
lightings or smoke machines. And we just go there and we just let the Holy Spirit lead us, and that's the type of worship that I want to continue to do.
That's cool. I've come from a Catholic background, which
Mhm.
is very ritualistic and
Yes.
regimented, which
Yeah.
as a kid, it's not too entertaining.
Yeah.
So then I went from that spectrum and checked out those churches, and like it's too much. So
Yeah.
I like it seems like your church would probably be the kind of a better one for someone who, in the middle, where they can kind
Mhm.
of get the entertainment but still get the word and feel involved instead of
Yeah.
watching a big show.
Performance, right? Yeah. So it
Yeah.
shouldn't. I think for me, I always try to encourage people if they're gonna attend a church. You want to attend a church that's gonna make you grow. That's
Yeah.
that's the the main thing is trying to get closer to Christ and closer to God, right?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be a part of a church that you're just a small little guppy in this huge sea and you can't connect with other people and you're not gonna grow, then maybe that church is not for you. And so I think it's It doesn't matter what church you go to, it's where you're going to grow the closest to God. So it could be a small church, it could be a big church. Hey, whatever works for you, wherever God's calling you, that's the main thing.
That's good. And
Yeah,
I feel like your values and stuff will pass down to your children, and that's
yeah, try.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely try that. And especially in this world now, man. This world is crazy, we live in. There's so many changes and so much yeah, it's just a crazy world we live in, and definitely want to try to teach my kids the right values and the truth, right? The truth, what
Yep.
God says, not what this world says.
Yeah.
We're not going to remain in this world, this worldly views and matters, right? It's all about the truth, and it's in God's word, and that's what it says in black and white. We can't alter it to what we want it to be, and we just gotta just follow God's promises.
Yep. I understand that. And I've definitely tried to instill a lot of that in my daughter. And she grew up with a lot with my mom, who was involved with the church. And so
Mhm.
she would go Sunday school and stuff like that. It's kind
Good.
of like pulling teeth nowadays, but
Yeah.
I know when
Oh,
she's there, she's learning something. But
yeah,
how
but the
was
main
it?
thing,
Yeah,
the
because
main
you
thing,
have
you
a,
planted that seed, right? You planted that
yeah,
seed. I'm the
yeah,
same way. So like my oldest just turned 19. We raised him in the church. I went through pretty much Sundays. It was always mandatory for him to go and go to Sunday school. And now that he's 19 and he's working, going to school, he kind of fell a little way, but at least I know I planted that seed. So maybe when the
yeah.
time comes, he'll come back when he wants, and hopefully God will tug on his heart. Yeah.
What For me, what I've understood was I learned a lot. And I
Mhm.
went Damien and stuff, and at the time it was monotonous and kind of annoying, but you hear the stories, you learn, you got to pass the test, and then in life later I can draw on some of those scriptures or words
Yeah.
or lessons.
Mhm.
And like I'll be watching something and I'll know the answer to that. Or
Yeah.
so like I went with my daughter to the Passover reenactment,
Okay.
and the teacher's asking the class questions. I'm like, I know the answer to that. Like I telling my
Yeah.
daughter, tell her this. And
Yeah.
then I stop and I'm like, how do I
How
know
do you
that?
remember that?
Like,
Yeah. See? So
yeah,
you
and
see
it's like,
how you just plant that seed, right? You
yo,
plant that seed and you just let God do the rest, right? We
yeah,
can't change someone else. And when the timing is right, God will definitely tug on your heart. He'll pull you in, and that's it, man. You just gotta
yeah.
grow with it. So
And
that's
it's
what it's been.
weird. Yeah, it's been situations where it has happened and it's noticeable,
Yes.
and not just for me, but people close to me, and
Hmm.
they'll reach out and say, "Bro, I pray every day," and the biggest thing you can do when you pray is start off being grateful, because you can never be in a bad mood or be in a negative situation if you're grateful for something.
Yeah.
So I tell my friends that, oh, start your day off. I have what one of my closest friends recently within the last couple months went through some life-changing moments and started praying, and he's like, bro, I don't know how, or like, what do I do? I say, bro, just be,
Just talk. Just talk to
yep,
God. God,
and
God knows our heart, right? He knows our heart.
yep,
It's not about having this impromptu speech or this written down speech. I mean, you just gotta
yeah,
come to God as you are, and it says that in Scripture, right? Like, you'll hear people say, "Hey, I don't want to go to church. I'll go into your church and I'll burn." Like, hello, God will meet you where you're at. Doesn't matter where you're at, and your sin is no different than my sin. We're all sinners, right? So
yeah,
to use that statement it's not justified. We're all sinners. And just because I'm on that stage and I'm leading worship doesn't mean I'm not a sinner. I sin every day. And I still try to do better and be more like Christ and get closer to Him and be more godly, right? And I definitely go through those struggles in life, just like anybody else, as a man, as a father. And I just continue just to have the Holy Spirit lean on me and just like, hey, take me out of this situation, take me out of this temptation, whatever it may be, take me out of this slump that I'm in, or whatever it is. So I think having that foundation, having God as a center of my life is super important, just for everything, with relationships, with marriage, with fatherhood, with everything.
and it works, bro. Like
Yeah.
for my friend, I told him he gotta be receptive for the answer. He's not gonna come up to you and shoot you a text. Like it's gonna
Yeah, yeah.
you're gonna see it through people talking or
Yeah.
anything. Just acknowledge that that's the answer, and then kind of take it as there. And yeah, like you said, everybody sins, and
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
watching the Passion of Christ one time with my
What else? Yeah.
mom,
That's such
and
a visual movie too, right? It shows
bro,
you, yeah, it's
Jesus
crazy to
gets
watch.
slam dance up and down that
Yeah,
hill, and like they show it.
yeah,
And I was watching it with my mom, who's a super Catholic, and I'm just watching this, just like, wow, like this is pretty graphic. And she's
yeah.
looking at me like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, he did that for your sins.
Yeah.
I was thinking, wait a second. I don't know what kind of sins you think I did, but whatever it was, never warrant him getting derby like that.
I
But
mean, it showed you know, by having God sending his son on the cross,
yo,
to pretty much get crucified on the cross, it pretty much took sin away, right? He took the burden off of us. He took our sin away for us with that ultimate sacrifice. So it
yo,
showed God's love, you know, sending his own son. I mean, I could never send my son to die on the
yo,
cross for this whole world. There's no way. But it just shows how important we are, how much God loves us, right? If you don't feel valued, if you feel love, if
yeah,
you don't know your purpose in life, that he's always there. He's gonna go with you through every struggle, every burden, every success, every joy, every sorrow, everything. So um he's just waiting. He's just waiting for you to repent and surrender. I think that's the main thing, right? If we hold on to our own sin, our own you know, we're not repenting what we have done, then how can we let God in? If we don't pray, if we don't open up his word, we're not reading scriptures, we're not reading the Bible, how can we have a you know, an honest relationship with Jesus? You know, that's the main thing I think people
yeah.
fail to do. They can say, I have a title, I'm a Christian, I'm this and that, but are you having a personal relationship with Jesus? You know, that's the main thing. You know, I'm not about religion. I think religion is like I said it with you know, you have these certain things you have to do. I think it's all about having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what it's all about.
I think I am on that same agreement with you because
Yeah,
of being in a Catholic
yeah.
church. The ritualism,
Ritualistic, you know, yeah,
I kind of I understand it, and for some people it's important, but for me it's the, like you said, the relationship and being able to communicate and
mm,
reciprocate what he's trying to teach you.
yep,
And
yep. You
it,
see
it ain't
signs, you
always
know?
good. It's not
Yeah,
always good. It's not
no,
always what you want to hear,
yeah.
but it's what you need to hear. And I've
You know,
definitely, yeah,
he's building your character. You know, he's not gonna put you in something that you cannot handle, right? He's going to he's gonna make sure that you get stronger throughout each and every trial or tribulation or obstacle in life. Yeah.
yeah. He put me through the ringer, bro, testing my strength. I dealt with a lot of stuff in my life.
Yeah.
But like you
Yeah.
said, it makes you stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's always a positive thing, and what you're doing is helping people, and you're creating links for people to connect with God.
Mhm.
But on your free time, bro, like, if do you have any, what do you do on your free time?
Yeah, I think finding free time is always a hard one because if I have my free time, I'm trying to sleep, right? Trying to get
Yeah.
my rest that I can to recuperate, especially for musicians. And right now, it's been busy with grad party season. Oh man, this past weekend I had a crazy weekend. I played like an early gig, like around 9 o'clock at night with Rebels. And then I had like a project graduation with Kolohe Kai, like at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning. And
what
then I
school
had
is
to
that
be
for?
yeah, and that was for
Oh,
Punahou High School, and I had to go lead worship the very next morning. So here I'm playing like you know to 2:30 in the morning. I'm getting home like past 3. I got to be at church at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, man, I've been struggling. But yeah, I think for my free time, I've always loved to get in the water and surf if I could.
nice.
I used to surf a lot when I was playing music. As I was younger. I've been getting into the foiling. I don't know if you've seen the foiling.
Oh,
I've been
yeah, yeah.
electric foiling. I try to get into that, and that's always been fun. But I think finding time to do it was definitely hard. Um, golfing's been fun. I've been kind of doing some
Oh,
golfing with the boys. You know, when we go on tour, you know, the guys get together, we do some golfing, and that's always fun. Um, any type of sports. I played soccer since I was 5.
oh,
So
wow.
you know, anything that I can do that I enjoy with sports or surfing or something like that. that's what I would choose to do in my free time.
Oh, that's super cool. And what music do you normally listen to? Like say you're gonna cruise home from work or whatever, like what are you jamming out to?
Yeah, I always go back and forth to just island reggae music or just Christian gospel music. That's what I
Okay.
used to go back and forth. Pretty much the music that I play. Um,
Okay.
and, once in a while I listen to something else, but for the most part, I just listen to the radio, Island 90.5. That's one of them. Or I listen to the Fish. So I listen to the Christian music and stuff. But yeah, that's my choice of music. Pretty much what I play is what I listen to.
All right. And future wise, what would be your future goals for music and for what you're been doing in your church?
Wow, future goals for music. I think just to continue doing what I'm doing. I think with musicians, sometimes they'll play only a few years, or they'll play a certain time. There's always like a shelf life, right, for musicians, because there's
Yeah.
always new generation coming up. So I think it's just for me to continue to keep busy and continue to play with these established bands who are continuing to make music. So I think just continue to tour and play music with these bands that I do now is definitely something I want to do in the future. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, unless I have to. But that's something I want to do for my worship. I just want to continue to just build up more leaders in the church, and have other people grow. We're going through a transition right now within our church. We just had our senior pastor retire, and we have a new pastor. So I've been working with a new pastor here, and definitely different. It's challenging because it's a different way of different vision,
Mm.
different ways of doing things. So just trying to get the team to build more leaders, and get all these new members coming aboard, just to get them trained up, and get them into the worship, and the songs that we do. So I think as a leader for the worship, that's what I want to do, is just continue to build more leaders, more leaders to lead worship and glorify God, and just continue to play music with the bands that I do play with now.
Well, sounds good, man. Well, we've been going for about an hour, and I know you're busy and want to get back to
Yeah,
your family. I appreciate you
yeah,
coming on.
yeah. No worries.
Um,
Thanks for having me, man.
where can people find you on social media if they want to check out what you've been
Okay.
doing, and
Yeah.
what bands you're gonna be playing with in the near future?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Instagram, um Basimon, but it's the S's are fives. So
Okay.
BA55IEMON. I pretty much post all my music up there, from whatever bands I'm playing with, and also my personal with my family and whatnot. But I think that's just the general speaking. I'm not a big promoter with social media. I'm just real basic, laid back kind of guy. So I kind of pretty much just post as I come and go. I don't post everything, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can find me at Basimon on Instagram.
Right on. And last but not least, how do you think your Eagles are gonna do this year?
I knew that question was gonna come up.
You
Hopefully
guys are
good, man.
stacked, bro. I
Dude, we're
think you guys
stacked,
are
man.
are, are stacked.
Yeah,
It's probably gonna be you and the Eagles and Niners again.
probably,
I
bro. Hey, that
mean,
was a good game, that's so. But
yeah,
I'm really happy with the draft, man. The draft, I think we killed it in the draft. We have a whole bunch of Georgia Bulldogs,
yeah,
and with Jalen Carter, and with Nolan Smith, and now we used to have Jordan Davis and Kobe Dean. I mean, we have like I think 4 or 5 Georgia Bulldogs, like who are all in the championship runs during their years. I mean, we still have
mm,
some of the old timers still, and I think Jalen Hurts is been doing an amazing job. He definitely grow, his growth over the years has definitely got better, and I think he's going to continue to get better. He showed what type of player he was at the Super Bowl against the Chiefs this past Super Bowl. Man, we that was our Super Bowl, but we lost it in the
I
second
was
half.
there, bro. I did
Yeah,
the Niners did the exact same thing
yeah,
against the exact same team. Up
yeah,
by
man.
10 in the fourth and
Dude, yeah,
messed it
we
all
was
up.
up the whole game, and a second half.
Yeah.
I felt like our defensive coordinator didn't change anything around the second half, and Patrick Mahomes just capitalized on all our mistakes. So we got so
Yeah.
close. But for the most part, we have a bunch of those same starters for this season, and a whole bunch of new up and coming talent that I'm excited about to see. So yeah, man, I think we're gonna see the Niners too. You guys have a stacked team. You guys always had a
Yeah.
stacked team, and you guys
Been a
always make it
while.
so close to the Super Bowl. Yeah, always do
Uh
that. NFC
That
Championship, and always, man, he's
main
always
thing that we take the Cowboys out, bro. Those
oh,
those
tell
fans
me,
are the most
please.
annoying.
That's the only to me. That's my Super Bowl. As long as we beat the
Yeah.
Cowboys, nothing else matters, bro.
Yeah. You went to Dallas and Hoppo was with you, huh?
Yeah, dude. One of the years, yeah. So
You
me and
lucky
Taylor
he
went.
didn't get you lynched over there with
Oh
the way
man,
he talks
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He does. Yeah, he
He
he's
gets
he's
everybody riled up.
he gets he got some people rowdy, but it's for the fun part. I mean, he was able to
Yeah.
experience their stadium, and man, the AT&T Stadium at Dallas is crazy, all indoors, and their facility is so beautiful, man. It was awesome just to see it and be a part of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't in Philly, but it was fun
Yeah.
to go with Taylor, and we went and we had a great time, man. We enjoyed the game. We lost the game, but it was just a great experience, and hopefully we can do more. And yeah, maybe we got to get on a trip with us, man. We can go watch a Niners fan, like the Niners and the Eagles game or something. That'd be
Well,
cool.
that's the
The
plan. We
boy.
might be we might be going to Philly because they play in Philly
Oh no
this
way.
year. I
Dude,
think
that's
it's in
always in my
December.
dream.
Let's
That's always
go,
been my
bro.
dream,
Yeah.
dude. I always wanted to go to Philly. I mean, the fan base in Philly is like nowhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
They're
I
so
might
passionate about their team, and I mean, it's crazy, you know.
that's why I'm
Crazy.
gonna have to be kind of on my
Low key,
toes, bro.
low
Cause
key.
I don't know.
Like,
I
don't wear your
run my
jersey
mouth
there.
too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Don't wear your jersey.
Maybe freak that. I'm redding it up, bro.
You're ready.
You can see a sea of green and one red dot.
Right. There you go. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, I hear all the stories in Philly. You know, it's crazy. I mean, this is what I'm hearing. They supposedly they have their own jail over there at the Lincoln Financial Field or something.
Oh,
I've been hearing they have
really?
their own, yeah, like because the fans get
Oh,
so nuts and so passionate about their team, and they don't take anything. They're sore losers when they lose,
oh
and they'll let
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And
Well,
yeah, I definitely want to experience Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and it's just such a amazing city to be around. Just with everything, just in history, right? There's
yeah, definitely want
so
to
much
check it
stuff in
out.
that city. I want to be able to experience and see what it's all about, and feel the home team and that energy and that vibe, and it's
Yeah.
definitely on the bucket list, bro. I want to be able to
Let's
go.
go, bro. Maybe this
Yeah.
year. Maybe
Okay.
if the stars align, then we can work it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta see how much vacation I have
Yeah,
because yeah,
yeah.
I'm using all this vacation for touring.
Yeah. I know that one thing I do respect about you and Hapa and my friend Donnie and Tomani, they all are Eagles fans, but been hardcore Eagles fans from the dirt days when you guys weren't
Yeah,
doing too good. And
yeah,
that I always respect because I'm the same. I watched the Niners
yeah,
when they
you
were
have.
like 0-9 and just
Yeah,
the smallest TV at in Ruby
yeah.
Tuesdays, just
I
all
mean, it's
mad.
all about being a diehard fan, right? You can't be a bad
Yeah,
Rattler fan when your team's doing well. So that's
yeah.
the thing. I've been an Eagles fan for a very long time, and I look forward to it. And I I'm not one of those guys who just watch the game and that's it. I get into the stats. I get
Oh
into
yeah.
the draft. I get into the new players. I get into
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? What's coming out? What do we, who's the new players coming up? Who we're looking to draft? And
Following them Instagram, see what they're
yeah,
having for
yeah.
lunch.
Yeah, not that well.
So what
But I
I do,
mean, I
like,
get involved. I get involved. I'm not one of those
yeah,
fans who just like, oh yeah, we won. Like, no, I watch everything. I
yeah,
watch every play. I know
exactly.
all the players. By
Yeah,
number, everything. You name
yeah. I'm the same.
it.
Well, for us, you can always find us on Instagram at Above the Bridge Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Above the Bridge Podcast. Our website is atbpod.com, and you can find me on Instagram, Thaddy Daddy High. Bro, I appreciate you. I will always looked up to you and how you are as a dad. I love watching you play music since Opihi Pickers time, and brah, I appreciate you coming on. I know you have
Yeah,
a
man.
busy schedule, so
Yeah.
thank you, brah.
Yeah, thanks
And
for having me.
I hope to see you on stage soon, brah. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
be at
bro.
the
Yeah.
birthday bash.
Yeah, we gotta connect more. Instead of
Yep,
seeing each other on online and on Instagram or on this. But yeah, man,
yep.
definitely gotta connect. Sure.
Right on, man. Well, shakas for the cameras. Right on, man. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.